Let it be flat. Let it be flat. Okay.
Ball patch. Ball patch. Ball patch.
What's that? Oh, it's better. Like that. Stay. There we go.
Okay, so we're finally here, finally on to the second episode of Random Postcode Generator. The reason I say finally is because it's actually been 6 months since I filmed the pilot episode. Lots of reasons for that, really. Didn't have a laptop in order to actually edit the episode, so that was a big reason. But yeah, it's been 6 months, which for the more... What would be the word? For the more... You may have noticed that my background has now changed and it's not as cluttered with random chairs and whatnot and looks just a little bit more tidy. That's because I've, in the past 6 months, moved in with my girlfriend. And in that time, I've also obtained myself a laptop in which to record these episodes and edit them. And I've also been able to set up somewhat of a small studio in the spare room, or what could be, this closest thing to a studio. So yeah, I've got a studio. I've got a microphone. Means the audio quality is hopefully going to be a bit better. Improve as we go, as we do the series. But yeah, enough about all that. We are now on to the second episode of Random Postcode Generator. To recap on what the fuck that actually is, it's basically my idea of a way of seeing the entirety of the UK, motivating myself to see more of it and see what's out there. The way in which I'm going about doing this is by using a random postcode generator, pressing the button on that, letting that generate a postcode. And what I made the decision in the last episode was that instead of going to just the specific postcodes, because they are very small, there's probably not going to be that much there, and there's 1.8 million in the UK, so it's going to take some time to do that. I've instead decided to generate the postcode and then locate the closest village, town or city, and then I will go to that place, have a little walk around, see what's around, and make a bit of a show out of it. And this is the second episode of that. So I've actually planned this episode so that I can go out for a full day to the place that I randomly generate. So that means I can actually use the entirety of the UK in order to randomly generate. As in the first episode, I was going after work. I had a time restraint, so I had to do it in a specific area. This time, I'm just going to generate and see where it takes us. So it's actually like a proper randomly generated postcode. I'm going to hopefully have most of a day to go there and film there. This time I'm going to do a bit more research and actually see what's out there, a bit more planning, try and learn from the first one, mainly talking about filming landscape instead of portrait on my phone. So yeah, that's an overview of the series ahead and the episode to come. On to the random postcode generating. Alrighty, we are on to the part of the series where I randomly generate the postcode to see where we are going. Isn't it exciting? Let's get rid of the tabby wabs. Don't need those. Okay, so here we are again. As explained previously, I'm still using the Random UK postcode generator from generatormix.com. So if you fancy generating yourselves a postcode, then this is the place to do it. So at the moment it's got the input of random. That's what we want. Yes, very good, very nice. And then it's number of postcodes, 8. No, we don't want 8. So going to put that down to 1, and then it's just a case of going for it and seeing where we're going. It's going to be an extremely exciting episode because this legitimately could appear anywhere. Let's just see what happens, I guess. We've got it there. We are focused and moving on up in the world, I'm now filming my laptop with my camera. And generate. BA2 5PQ. Bath is BA, apparently, the area. I've heard many a good thing about Bath. Never been there before. Don't know anything about the area. I think there's no point in me really disclaiming the fact that I don't know anything about it, because it's quite apparent that I don't know anything about most places within the UK. So that's the point. I'm going to do a little bit of research on this initially. First things first, though, we're going to get the postcode up on the maps. BA2 5PQ. Was that what it was? Yep. So that's looking to be Exmoor Road, Bath. So let's give that a clickety-doo-dah. It looks like it's honestly put me slap bang in the middle of 4 different places. So you've got a place called Combe Down. I can comb on down there if I want to. You've got Odd Down. That's kind of really instantly taking the liking. So I've got a pick of 4 places. You've got the Oval, and then you've got Perrymead. I'm pretty sure these are like the main bits, for lack of a better word. The main bits. Odd Down, which it's an odd name, isn't it? All right, so that's it. That's decided. The place that we are going to, Odd Down, Bath. That is where we are going. That is the next randomly generated postcode. Let's do this.
Little bit carried away last night, so we've got some contingency measures in order before the trip. One for now and one for later. Oh, yes, there she is, the Silver Mistress, Mildred.
So it's about a 3-hour drive to the postcode. I've now got this new camera clip thingy, so shouldn't have as many incidents like the first video.
Once I get to the postcode. Oh no!
Although it does seem like it's a little bit bobby around, so I might have to invest in a different one. But for now, I guess you just have to deal with a little bit of a shaky ride. Let's get driving.
So this week we've been graced by the presence of 2 storms, Dudley and Eunice. This will undoubtedly make for an extremely windy episode, so apologies in advance for that. After a little search of the area on Google Maps, I've put together a brief plan. First, I'll be heading to the Trumps, whatever that is, then down to the sports ground, then on to St. Martin's Church, Millennium Viewpoint, and then I'll go to the Cross Keys for a nice cold pint after almost being blown over.
Absolutely lovely weather we're having. So I've just got onto the motorway and come to realise that this new camera setup here shakes like a mother. So yeah, on the motorway, sat-nav's told me it's going to be 42 miles on this stretch. I think the best thing to do is for me to just settle on down for the drive, and I'll check back in when we're pretty much close to the place when we get into Bath. So we shall reconvene closer to the postcode. Sorry, man. Sorry. So there was many a reason not to actually go today. Woke up, was hungover. There's been 2 back-to-back storms, so the weather's not great, to be honest. But it was one of those things where it was mainly because I was a little bit scared to come out and do something that's outside of my comfort zone and carry on doing this. So just listened to a couple of motivational why you should do things that scare you videos on YouTube, and after listening to that and just ignoring the voice in the back of my head saying all the reasons why I shouldn't do something and not do something that I enjoy doing and want to do, you know, like the brain likes to do, just made myself do it, and now we're here. And yeah, I think if you're watching this and you have fears yourself of doing the things that scare you, I guess, and you know, you're putting yourself out there and you're putting yourself in a position of vulnerability. Don't listen to all the thoughts in your head telling you not to do it, just fucking do it anyway.
Time to go. This might be a fucking nightmare to get out of.
Alright, I think we're about 15 minutes outside of the postcode now. The first place we're going to is called Trump's. I forget exactly what that is. There's a tiny picture of a tree on the maps. So we'll start there, make our way around and see what Odd Down's got going on. Okay, after just over 3 hours of driving, we finally got here. I've decided to go drive straight to Odd Down because the postcode was actually quite a walk away, even though it's the closest place. We've parked on Odin Road, so off to the first place.
So I think this must be the way to the Trumps. It's a bit creepy, but let's see where it goes. Okay. Jesus. Bloody hell. It's quite the view. For not much walking. The Tramps. Isn't it glorious? Go over there as well. Try not to film people in their houses.
And now a little about Odd Down. Odd Down is an area of the city of Bath, Somerset, southwest England. A suburb of the city, Odd Down is located west and south of the city centre. The population taken at the 2011 census was 5,681.
Looks like it goes on for quite a while, and that's actually in the opposite direction that I want to be going to see everything else here. So I think I'm going to make my way up this way, which will bring me back onto the sports field actually. But great view. Try not to slip over here whilst I'm holding the phone. Hopefully, I'm hoping I can cut through here. And then, I think this is the BMX tracks. Let's have a look at these. It'd be cool if there was someone doing loads of tricks and shit, but I highly doubt it on a day like this. Let's have a little walk around the tracks. I think the best thing to do in a situation like this is to obviously pretend that I am a BMXer and run around the track accordingly. This is outrageously tiring. Yeah, there's no fucking chance of running around all that. Alright, I think we'll cut to me being over there. This will be where all the BMXers begin. Right, So, let's see. Football thingy. Odd down. Spread ground. Odd down Spritz ground. It's quite a quirky sign. I think that's the proper local in Odd Down, but we're going to be going to Cross Keys. Must carry on, can't have a pint yet. We've got ourselves a crow, chilling, pretty huge. Just did a poop. Very nice. There it is, there's the church in the distance. St. Martin's Church, I think this one's called. Let's go check it out. The sundial in memory of singer Eddie Cochran was presented to St. Martin's Hospital by his many fans from Bristol, 1938 to 1960. There's another thing here as well. I'll have to look up who this guy is, but...
Eddie Cochran was a top 50s American rock and roll star with famous hits such as Come On Everybody, Something Else, and Summertime Blues. In early 1959, two of Eddie's friends, Buddy Holly and Richie Valens, along with the Big Bopper, were killed in a plane crash whilst on tour. Eddie's friends and family later said that he was badly shaken by their deaths and developed a morbid premonition that he would also die young, wishing to only spend time in the studio rather than touring. At the age of 21, Cochran was on tour in Britain from January through April 1960. He and his friend and fellow performing artist Gene Vincent had just finished performing at the last of their scheduled concerts at the Bristol Hippodrome on April 16th, a Saturday night. They were travelling along the Bath Road in a taxi from Bristol towards London. In addition to Cochran and Vincent, the other passengers in the vehicle were Sharon Shealy, a 20-year-old songwriter who was also Cochran's fiancée at the time, 29-year-old Patrick Tompkins, the tour manager, and George Martin, the 19-year-old taxi driver. Sadly, at about 11:50 p.m. that night, Martin lost control of the vehicle, which subsequently crashed into a concrete lamppost at Roden Hill in Chippenham. The occupants of the vehicle were all taken to Chippenham Community Hospital and later transferred to St. Martin's Hospital in Bath. Cochran sadly died at 4:10 p.m. the following day, Easter Sunday. The other passengers were injured, but survived the crash. Though his best-known songs were released during his lifetime, most of his songs were released after his death. In 1987, Cochran was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Jimi Hendrix, the Sex Pistols, Led Zeppelin and the Beatles are among several iconic artists that have covered the young rockers' songs to this day.
It's a very nice little monument there. I wish I had a drink. Did you know? Don't think I'm going to read this, but I'll leave it there for a second to read it. 1,100 inmates who all died. Oof. Treat this beautiful space with respect and whilst enjoying this peaceful and tranquility. So that was the church. Going to be moving on to Millennium Viewpoint next, or Millennium Point, so should be a pretty damn good view. And then after that, to the pub. This is the way to Millennium Viewpoint. Nippy. I think I've not really gone the official way to this viewpoint. Oh well. Right, finally got here. 2000 AD by local people of South Stark. Blech. Any loss or damage of property. Okay, well we're here. Let's see how nice this is. I guess we go onto the mound. Oh god. Oh no, it's slippy. Oh, I don't know if I can get up here. Oh, right. This way. Up we go. Oh. Oops, if you do it like that. You can probably see pretty fucking far if it's not weather like this. Yeah, it's pretty nice. Potentially I'm supposed to. Okay. Well, low centre of gravity. Stop shore from falling. Again. This is the viewpoint where you can sit and view. This is what we'll do. Just about do. Let's give Peru. Got my hood on, obviously, so that's pretty much everything we wanted to see so far. So feel like we've earned ourselves a beer. Obviously we're going to have just the 1 pint and we'll be waiting a good while afterwards as to, you know, abide by the laws of driving. So yeah, we're going to go over there, have a look and see what that's like. It's meant to be quite an old pub. We'll see what they've got on tap, see if they've got anything decent or if it's just the normal stuff. And then after that I think we'll be looking to do the 3-hour drive back.
Cross Keys was built in the early part of the 18th century. It was strategically located on the crossroads of the route between Bath, Wells, Bristol and Warminster. The first record of the Cross Keys as an inn dates from the 4th of June 1718.
So just got back to Mildred HQ, just had a scrumptious blonde ale at the Cross Keys. It was 4.3%, I can't actually remember what brewery it was, I'll remember that next time. So that was Odd Down. Never in my life would I have thought to come to Odd Down. It's turned out to be a really lovely place, and really starting to realise that when you go to these random places you see so many great things, lots of history in a lot of all of these places. I'm really looking forward to researching some of the stuff that I came across on this trip, such as the singer at the church, see what's going on with that story about the inmates that was told on the sign. So I'm looking forward to doing that. I'm really glad I came here, and it'll be exciting to see where the next trip takes me. If you enjoy these random road trips, then do all the, you know, liking and subscribing and all that stuff that YouTube likes you to do. And yeah, that was Odd Down, and I'll see you in the next one. Time for a 3-hour drive back. Oh yeah, and next time, if the weather's like this, I definitely won't be wearing what essentially acts as a sponge. See you next time.